So there I was, sitting in my room watching YouTube on the TV, when all of a sudden I saw an ad for a movie made by Ubisoft. I had no idea that Ubisoft even made movies, so I immediately knew I had to watch this movie to see if they were any good at it. I certainly did not rent this movie just because the AT&T girl is in it, okay? That's certainly not the case, so don't go around telling people that, okay? The crazy thing about this movie, though, is that Milana Vanitrub, or however you say her last name, actually does a pretty good job in this movie. She does a great job expressing this blunt yet kind character, but where she really shines is in her interactions with the star of the movie, Sam Richardson. He plays the role of the town's new ranger, Finn Wheeler, a man lacking an assertive side. He is such a pushover that he often doesn't even realize it when people give him the short end of the stick. For example, he didn't even realize that his girlfriend broke up with him until Cecily spelled it out for him.
Charlotte thinks that... Oh my god.
His interactions with Cecily are certainly the highlight of the film because, as I said, these two actors have great chemistry. From their awkward romantic scenes to simple conversations, the two actors worked really well off each other and really sold me on the characters. I also appreciate how the writers made Cecily a relatively new member of the town. This made her discussions with Finn about the ins and outs of the town believable without having her come across as a gossiper. As the two newbies in the town, there is the sense that the two need to stick together, a feeling made significantly stronger after we see all the wackos that live there. There's the rich guy hoping to build a pipeline through the beautiful forest nearby, as well as the middle-aged Republican couple hoping to profit off of it. How do I know they're Republicans, you ask?
Jiminy Christmas! Hippies knocked down our sign again!
It's Antifa.
Unfortunately, I know people who make that exact same argument all the time, which makes this excuse being used for such an insignificant act freaking hilarious. Naturally, these people were all made out to be jerks in the film, which would normally alienate half the American audience, but here's the thing. Everyone else in the town is a jerk too, except Joaquin and Janine. They're nice, but even their ledgers aren't clean. Pretty early on in the film, actually, the body of Janine's husband is found under her house, making her a prime suspect for his murder. And while Joaquin is a very nice dude, he didn't hesitate to marry a total a-hole.
Everything in these woods eats little dogs. I can't get on the internet!
This lady's innocent little dog just got eaten alive, and he can't bother to show the slightest bit of sympathy to the lady crying right in front of him. The loner outside the town too can't even bother to help his neighbors. So eventually, when it becomes clear that there is a werewolf among them, the fates of all these self-serving individuals are placed in the hands of a man incapable of doing anything for himself. Even when Cecily, a woman he has real chemistry with, makes a move on him, he immediately disregards her the moment his ex calls him.
Row of hair.
Yeah, sorry, wait, what?
Yes, the fate of the entire town is in that man's hands. The entire populace eventually finds themselves stuck in Janine's manor, and after calling an emergency meeting, literally everyone begins jumping to conclusions concerning the identity of the werewolf. Normally, when investigating a murder, the three things that make a suspect's guilt possible are motive, means, and opportunity. The town completely ignores the last two, however, and fixates on motive. And the motives each town member presents are based entirely on pre-existing town drama, from the proposed pipeline to an affair of years past. Rather than work to build a united front against the werewolf, all these people can do is further divide themselves against each other. And given the diverse group of ideologies presented here, it can easily be deduced that this group of people represents America itself. Will the enemy within this country, the us versus them mentality, eventually cause our downfall? This is a question I, someone disillusioned from both the Republican and Democratic parties, often ask myself. After sitting silently, letting tensions escalate between the townsfolk for some time, Finn finally decides to answer this difficult question. And here's the thing. For better or worse, while watching this movie, I saw a lot of myself in Finn's character. He's the outsider, socially and politically, much like I am. So it was very nice to see the character I relate to stand up and smash that mug, silencing everyone in the room. They were all looking out for themselves as opposed to the greater good. The gay couple loves the woods, and while nature is certainly a beautiful thing, as tech millionaires they are unable to grasp the importance of the pipeline to their less fortunate neighbors. And the same goes the other way. The Republicans may need the money, but is destroying the beauty of the world around them really worth fattening their wallets? Finn explains to them that they are all members of the same community, and therefore, despite their differences, they are on the same team. The only way for the town to unite, for America to heal, is for everyone to walk a mile in their neighbor's shoes, for all of us to find our common humanity. But this is America.
Don't catch you slipping now.
Whether it be selfishness,
I'm not gonna stick around and let that happen to me.
ulterior motives,
Well, this is where I also go my own way.
self-victimization,
Fear and intolerance has reared its ugly head.
or pride,
They're gonna get theirs, huh? They'll get theirs.
there's always something to keep people focusing inward as opposed to outward. So when push eventually comes to shove and the world literally becomes us versus them, the blood won't be just on the hands of them, but on us too. Is this the message the movie actually meant to send? Who knows? This movie may just be a comedy horror, but this is certainly the deeper meaning to be taken from Werewolves Within, whether the writers intended it or not. And in the final act of the film, things certainly become us versus them, every man for himself. It's here that the horror aspect of the film is basically dropped. Instead, the film fully embraces its comedic side, making for an incredibly hilarious final act. Instead of the werewolf coming out of the shadows to feast on the townsfolk, they do the work for it, killing each other off out of fear of the werewolf. I'd love to tell you all the crazy crap that happens here, but honestly I think you should rent the movie and see it for yourself. I'm fine talking about the plot, but the sheer insanity of these scenes is too perfect for me to be willing to spoil. Plus, I doubt I can show that stuff on YouTube anyways, with the blood and everything, so we'll just move on. So the only people to make it out of the violence alive are those willing to work towards the common good, rather than towards their own self-interest. The film ends with Finn ready to fully commit to his relationship with Cecily, accepting that it's okay to be himself. Being assertive can certainly help you in life, but being nice is the greater virtue. These survivors then come together in the final scene to kill the werewolf, proving that, despite the odds, there is a chance for a better and brighter America. And in case you're wondering who the werewolf was, it was Cecily.
Werewolves are real. Women who read Walden, well, drinking kombucha and getting turned on by your Yellowstone stories, they're a fantasy.
Freaking brutal. But anyways, Werewolves Within is a really good movie, so go watch it. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Have a good day, and I'll see you next time.